We've got the ferns, or little heads are just coming out. What I was actually looking for today is Jack in the Pulpit, I think, is on the trail, so maybe we can find that today. So last year I saw some Jack in the Pulpit berries in this section of the trail, somewhere over here. Hopefully I'll find them. Here's a stand right here that looks pretty nice. It's quite a nice little patch. So I'll get set up this time using a tripod, probably invert the camera to get down to this height and get some pictures of these Jack in the Pulpit flowers. Let's get in and take a look at this Jack in the Pulpit flower. You can see there's the red coloring under the hood. In what looks like a pitcher, these are not pitcher plants, but they certainly resemble pitcher plants. Characteristic 3 leaves, and this might look like poison ivy, and indeed there is some poison ivy growing up right with them. So we need to be very careful. I need to be very careful, but this is the Jack in the Pulpit. So here's my travel tripod and the Jack in the Pulpit over here, and you can see the basic problem trying to use this tripod. I want to get a view, down at the same level as the Jack in the Pulpit. The tripod is way up here, so the height is way off. So I need to get down low. The conventional technique for doing this would be to invert the center column and get down low. So I'll show you what that looks like and then move on to some other techniques. So I've got the RX-10 mounted inverted on the tripod and set at maximum zoom, equivalent to 600 millimeter, which is actually 220 millimeter. Gives me a long working distance and a nice macro or near macro composition. This setup is not particularly stable with the long wings and the pendulum, so I've got a 5-second timer, and let's take a picture of this. It's got some nice bright backlighting there. If you have a tripod with a center column, here's a trick that I use. I swing the column over and then use the ball head to level the camera out. That gets me down a little bit closer. Not as good as a tripod without a column, but it works. So I'm set up on the Jack in the Pulpit at about the same height, so I can see under the hood there. And I've used 2 different methods for this. One is waiting for the clouds to come and shade the sun, and the other is standing over to the side and providing some shade on the flower, and at the same time adding 1 stop of exposure compensation to bring up the exposure on the shaded flower. That seemed to work pretty well. We'll see if any of these look good, but it's great to be out here and to find these plants and share this time with you. So this is another technique for getting a low angle with a travel tripod that you might try. I've got 2 legs and the center column off to one side, one leg forming an angle on the ground, again using the ball head to correct the angle of the camera. And in this case, I needed to extend the legs to get some counterbalance. This isn't the most stable, but it will get you down pretty close to the ground. We can get a nice setup on the Jack in the Pulpit. I think you can see it here. So yeah, we'll take some shots of this composition. So this is a preferred setup for getting low angle shots. So this is a ground plate here, and I've got a Z head or a Z bracket, which allows me to get about 3 or 4 inches of height down to 0 and set the angle. So it's enough control and stability to get some nice macro shots. So I'll use this now. I've got some good partial cloud cover, so I'll use that to get some more low angle pictures of these Jack and Pulpit flowers. So it's been a really fun morning out here shooting these Jack and Pulpit flowers. But it's time to move on, see if there's anything else that I can photograph this morning, and hopefully get home in time for lunch. Take care.